everyone, hopefully you've had a great week. I wanted to let you know that I have reopened the assignments from last week for you to complete if you haven't already done so. I noticed that a few of you didn't quite have time to get those assignments submitted, so now you do. They're reopened and ready for you to go. So please don't forget to complete those assignments and turn them in. It's better to have your assignment complete than to get a 0 on that assignment. This week, your assignment has 2 parts. You're going to we'll compare products, and you'll make a recommendation as to what the best product is based on your research. Before you begin, open up and read the product comparison and recommendation project document attached to the assignment titled Product Comparison Preliminary Report. This is also attached to the second part of your assignment. Check the rubric for that assignment as well so that you understand what I'm looking for that assignment. The product comparison and recommendation project document that's attached to that has all of the information that you'll need. The first few steps are for the first part of the assignment, which is called the preliminary report, and the next few steps on that Word document are for the recommendation report, which is the second part of the assignment. So basically, the first part of the assignment is your preliminary report. What you're going to do is you're going to choose a product, and you're going to include the product you've chosen to compare and why you've chosen to compare that product in your preliminary report. Refer to Chapter 3 on how to write memos because both of the parts of the assignment will be completed in memo form. You're going to pick that product. Then you're going to pick 4 brand names or styles of that product that you've chosen to compare. The criteria you'll use to evaluate the product needs to be included in this report as well. The second part of your assignment, the second assignment under the assignments list, is called the recommendation report. Again, refer to Chapter 3, pages 69 through 77 for the memo format so that you remember how to create an effective memo. Follow the instructions on the Word document, again, called Product Comparison and Recommendation Report, to complete the second part of the assignment. Don't forget your Works Cited page for this. Remember to check out the grading rubric for this part of the assignment as well so that you know what I'm looking for. Read through those instructions. If you have questions about how to do it, please feel free to email me. I will get back to you within 24 hours of you shooting me an email and asking me a question. Please try to get that done sometime before Sunday night so that I can get back to you right away. To help you with this assignment, read pages 328 through 326. That's in Chapter 9. That's about citations and documentation, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. Also, read pages 69 through 77 in Chapter 3 to refresh your memory on how to write those memos. Citation. Let's talk a little bit about documenting sources. Why is it important? Documenting sources demonstrates that you understand that you did not write the information. It also shows you've done your homework by consulting experts on the subject and improves your credibility to the people who are reading what you've written. It gives credit to those sources. This is not only a simple act of courtesy, okay, but it's also an ethical requirement and a legal obligation. You can get in trouble legally for plagiarizing. So this is why it's important to cite the sources from which you've gathered your information. Citing also informs readers about specific books, articles, or websites you used so they can locate that information and verify it. What must be cited? This is important. As a rule of thumb, if you take information from a source, if you did not create the information, cite it. When in doubt, cite your information. Stay away from patchworking. Patchworking is taking bits and pieces from written work and trying to pass it off as your own. If any opinions are expressed verbally or in writing and they are not your own, cite those. Okay? Another thing, even if you don't use an author's exact words for those opinions or for that information, but you get an idea or concept from something they have produced, you need to give them credit. You need to cite that information. Never alter their information to fit your argument. If they have used their information to prove a certain point, you have to take it in context and never alter it to fit what you need it for. If you use statistical data that you did not gather and it's not common knowledge, you need to cite that statistical data. If you use a visual, such as a photo, a graph, or anything similar to that, cite that information. Where did you get that information? Never submit the same research paper for 2 different classes without first obtaining permission from the second instructor. This might come as a surprise to some people, but it is very much plagiarism. You could be plagiarizing yourself, oddly enough. But don't ever use your own information without first asking somebody if it's appropriate to use a second time around for a different assignment. Also, never delete an author's name from an internet document. I know that sometimes we perceive internet documents to be, I don't want to say less credible, but maybe not as something as important to cite information. It's just as important to cite the author of internet information as it is for a published work, any other published work. If you cannot find an author in an internet document, you obviously won't be able to cite that. But if there is an author, they need to be given credit. What does not need to be cited is just as important. Common knowledge does not need to be cited, such as common scientific facts and formulas. For example, the normal human body temperature is 98.6 degrees. If you found that from a source, you don't need to cite that because that's common knowledge. Also, readily available geographic data, such as elevation or mileage between 2 places, that stuff does not need to be cited either because that tends to be common knowledge. Well-known dates don't need to be cited, like the first man landing on the moon in 1969. Factual, historical information, such as George Washington was the first president of the United States, that's common knowledge that does not need to be cited. Proverbs from folklore, if you're using an idiom or some sort of proverb, such as the early bird gets the worm, you don't need to cite the source from which you've gotten that information because, again, that's common knowledge. It's something that could be found in multiple places. Also, well-known quotes, for example, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Common, okay? If it's something that typically the common person would know, it does not need to be cited. Again, pages 329 through 336 contain a guide for using both MLA and APA format for citing sources. I'm partial to MLA format as my background is in that. APA is just as credible, but know which one you're using and use it consistently. And again, there's very specific information about how to create your citations in both formats on pages 329 through 336 in your book. Page 69 through 77, those are the pages that outline how to write a memo. This should be reviewed because we have gone over chapter 3, but you will need to review this information before you complete both assignments for this week. Again, as always, if you have any questions, please contact me as soon as those questions arise. If the assignment is confusing in any way, please let me know immediately and I'll be happy to help you out. That being said, this assignment is due on December 8th at 11:55 p.m. Good luck and have a great week.